Now, in this video, I want to talk about why men of all ages and incomes need to be aware of the pussy trap. What is the pussy trap? It's where a woman draws you in with her beauty. Now, you get a lot of very, very beautiful women who draw men in, and men don't really think about these 2 points. One is that a woman always comes with problems. Attached to that beautiful face and that beautiful body and that beautiful ass are a shit ton of problems, a shit ton of issues, right? So you've got to be aware of that. How much work is this woman going to be? How many problems is she going to cause you? She is going to cause you problems. Some will cause you more problems than others, and some will cause you less problems than others. The other thing is that men need to be aware of is that women always have an agenda. And that is usually tied to her biological clock. It's usually tied to wanting to have a lifestyle upgrade. It's usually tied to wanting to have children. It's usually tied to a series of expectations. And it's also tied to the fact that she's going to test you to make sure that you're masculine and to make sure that you are able to lead her into a better future, because that's what leadership is about. When we talk about leadership, we don't talk about dominating a woman. We don't talk about trying to control a woman. It's about showing that you can lead her into a better future so she feels safe and she trusts you. Now, I'll be honest, it's a lot of work, right? All of this stuff is a lot of work, and you have to decide whether you want to go through it or not. If you don't want to go through it, fair enough. If you want to stay single, if you want to remain by yourself and be happy with your friends, hey, more power to you, because I completely understand that. If you want to get women, however, it takes work. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. They don't come easy. And this is the pussy trap. Women can look beautiful, but they come with a whole host of problems. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he told me the story about how he met this woman, and in the first few days, she seemed pretty cool. You know, it wasn't difficult. They had a great connection when they kissed, and he felt really comfortable, but he noticed a few things started to happen. The first thing happened when he was in a mall with her, and they were leaving the mall, and he said, we need to go left to go to the car. And she said, I know. And he said, you know what? And she said, I know where the car is. And she goes, right. And he knows the car's on the left. So he lets her go. And then she comes storming back and she says, what the hell's wrong with you? Why are you just standing there? And so she stomps her feet and then she follows him and she says, you better be right. Lo and behold, they get to the car. He was right. She gets in the car and she forgets about it. And she's singing along to music as though nothing ever happened. And this guy's thinking, man, this chick's crazy. You know, this is a red flag. Second red flag, they go home that night. They're watching a movie. She keeps stopping the movie every 20 minutes because a scene triggers a memory which she needs to talk about. And then they get towards the end of the movie, and this guy just wants to watch the end of the movie and see what happens, how the story ends. And then this woman says, show me your phone. And he said, why? And she said, I want to see what's in your phone. And he said, look, I'm pretty comfortable here. Can't we just watch the end of the movie? And she said, no, show me your phone. And he said, no, I'm not going to show you my phone. And she said, well, you've got something to hide. And he said, I don't have anything to hide, but I'm not going to show you my phone. And she said, well, I don't have anything to hide and I can show you my phone. And he said, I don't want to see your phone. And so you get into this power struggle, and he's thinking, man, this chick, she's just blown it. She's causing all of these problems all of a sudden. So she's testing him. Right? She is testing him pretty hard. And then she said, I don't really want to see your phone anyway. I just wanted to see how you're going to react to me asking you to see your phone. So he's thinking, here we go. Here we go. And these are little signs that this woman, who is very, very beautiful, he showed me her photos. She is very beautiful and she's very attractive. How they come with a lot of problems and they come with a lot of issues. And you've got to be aware of that. This is the pussy trap you've got to be careful of. You've got to be aware that this can lead to problems. And this man said, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. I've seen some things today which I didn't like. I think we should just call it a night. And he showed her that he was willing to walk away from her and to cut her out of his life because she was causing more problems than it was worth. And then she falls back into line and she starts acting sweet again. But there are a lot of guys out there who are rich, who have great jobs, who have a lot of money, And they would tolerate this because they think, well, this woman's beautiful and I want to please her and I don't want to upset her. And they get into this people-pleasing mentality, which always backfires with women, because it doesn't matter how beautiful women are, they're going to test you. Now, this is very similar in nature. When you look at these beautiful plants which attract insects, what happens to the insects when they get attracted to a plant like the Venus flytrap? They get stuck and they get eaten alive by these plants. But the insects are drawn to the beauty of these plants, to their petals, to their flowers. A lot of these plants can be carnivorous, the same as women. Now, they did a very interesting study recently, and they found that there are probably a lot more female psychopaths out there than we gave them credit for. Because female psychopaths go under the radar, right? They are on the extremes of society, but they fly under the radar because they're not really violent. They don't turn to violence, they turn to manipulation. They have no empathy. They can be ruthless, they can be heartless. But they exist, and there are more of them out there than men would like to believe. So be aware that women can be incredibly dangerous, and you need to guard yourself against this type of behavior. If you want to know more about this, I talk about this in my book, Atomic Attraction. You can pick up your copy today by clicking on the link below. And don't forget, I do phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com.